The United States quickly recruited a large army to fight Spain. They transported thousands of troops to eastern Cuba in anticipation of the unexpected arrival of the Spanish fleet in Santiago on May 19th. The Americans landed at Daiquiri and Siboney, establishing a beachhead after having taken control of Guantanamo Bay. On June 24th, American troops pushed the Spanish troops back toward Santiago. However, Spain did not give up. It was decided to position small forces on hills around the city, forming a first line of defense at El Caney and San Juan Hill. General Linares reserved the bulk of his troops in Santiago, a catastrophic decision that would ultimately cost Spain the war in Cuba. The Americans attacked both positions on July 1st. Despite a 10-to-1 difference, the Spanish soldiers at El Caney repelled the Americans for more than 12 hours. Just over 1,000 men and 2 mountain guns held off the continuous assaults of nearly 12,000 American soldiers for hours. The American commanders had to change tactics. There were more Spanish troops in the area, but they knew no reinforcements would arrive by sea. Days earlier, inexplicably, Admiral Cervera had anchored his ships in Santiago de Cuba. Without enough coal for their ships, the Americans blockaded the bay and managed to immobilize the Spanish fleet. Eventually, General Lawton ordered his 4 M1897 artillery cannons to concentrate fire on Fort El Viso, a strong point in the Spanish defenses. Once El Viso was taken, the American troops nullified the remaining Spanish defenses. Most of the Spanish troops retreated toward Santiago. In the Battle of San Juan Hills, the Americans used concentrated artillery fire from the beginning. The fearsome Gatling guns would be decisive in destroying the Spanish defenses, firing up to 10,000 rounds in just 9 minutes. The various cavalry divisions, along with regular infantry and Cuban volunteers, would eventually take San Juan. They would also suffer a large number of casualties, as at El Caney. The Spanish troops were able to retreat in an orderly manner to Santiago. In early July, 18,000 men, commanded by William Shafter, laid siege to Santiago. On July 3rd, fearing a double naval and land assault, Admiral Cervera decided to leave Santiago. He sailed westward and close to the coast, trying to save as many Spanish sailors as possible from a seemingly inevitable defeat. The Spanish squadron left port at intervals. The Infanta Maria Teresa, the flagship commanded by Cervera, threatened to ram the nearest blockading ships while allowing the rest of the fleet to escape. The Americans surrounded the Spanish ship, bombarded it, and hunted down the rest of the Spanish fleet. To avoid capture and loss of life, the Spanish fleet was run aground near the coast without sinking. The smaller destroyers suffered the greatest damage. On July 16th, Santiago de Cuba capitulated, and the Americans entered the city. The Spanish troops left the city with their heads held high. After defeats in Cuba, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines, Spain signed peace with the United States in December 1898 in the Treaty of Paris. Under harsh conditions, Spain said goodbye to 400 years of presence in the Americas. Its colonies would be reduced to territories in North Africa and Equatorial Guinea.